Hey everybody. In today's n8n, I'm going to be building a n8n bot that integrates into Jira. So my idea today is I want to have an AI agent who reads a transcript. So probably a discovery session with a client, let's just say. And the AI agent's going to read through the transcript and understand all of the client's requirements and then go ahead and create a bunch of user stories from the transcript. So I know this is possible. We just need to figure out how to do it. So everyone, thank you for joining and watch me struggle in today's session. So first things first, let's go ahead and start with our n8n workflow. So I'll just do a trigger, a manual trigger, and let's see what functionality n8n has with Jira. So out of the box, I can see they've got a bunch of issues, attachments, comments, user updates, as well as triggers. So onboard configuration, onboard created. Hey Jack, thanks everyone for joining. On comment created, option on project, sprint, user, version, nice. So we'll probably be working with issues. Now, from a high level point of view, how do we want to do this? So let's go to a Lucid chart and we'll just map something out. So here we have a board. Let me just prepare what we can do in this board. So I kind of just want to create stories and epics. Perfect. Got it. I'd rather board view. Cool. How do I go and create a backlog? Backlog. Nice. So we want to have a backlog. Do we have a sprint? Board. Cool. Code development releases reports. Hey Ben, how you doing? Okay, so we are gonna have to set once this lucid chart thing loads. So we create a user story. Test. Cool. Why isn't lucid charts working? Sign up free. Try it free, start free, whatever. Hey Ben, how you doing? Okay, so we're going to use lucid charts and we're going to go and map out what we want to build today. So just create that. I'll go new lucid chart blank document, start diagramming. So for everyone who doesn't know, lucid chart's just a diagramming tool that allows you to create process maps. So we are going to go ahead and create one. Whatever other individual. Oh, God. So just want to create BPMs. All right. So our start event will be transcript saved. Once we go and create a transcript, we want to send to AI agent or save somewhere. Transcript saved to Gmail, to Google Drive folder. Awesome. Then we want an event, which is going to be AI agent reviews and review transcript. Cool. Create requirements, user stories. So once the AI agent reviews the transcript, they'll then go and spit out a bunch of user stories. Probably want to save to Google Sheets. And then we will send a notification, I suppose, or for now we'll just do minimal viable product. So we're going to do review human reviews the user stories and approves, rejects. So if the human approves the user stories, save to Jira. If they reject it, we'll need to go and update user stories, I suppose. Reject. Comments. Updates. User story. Cool, and then saves it to G Sheets, and we'll go through this loop again. So it's pretty simple. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Okay, so next one. I'll put some swim lanes so everyone can see what we're talking about. Oops. That'll essentially be like there, I suppose. The one thing I hate about process mapping is getting all of the lines straight, which is so annoying, but has to be done. Cool, so we approve it. I'll just move that there, makes it cleaner. Alrighty. So let's go build this out. So this will be in let's say this is Google Drive. Creates user stories, saves the G Sheets. And the final thing will be Jira. Cool, just put that down there. Cool, all right, let's go and look at this. So the first one is Google Drive. AI agent will go ahead and review that. That will occur on Google Sheets. This can occur in Google Sheets. And this will occur in Jira. Perfect. Hey everyone, thanks for joining and watching. All right. Let me clean this up. So that should be 1. Oops. Google Sheets. Cool, it's still Google Sheets. And this can be Jira. Okay, Google Drive will be blue, or can be blue, I suppose. Hey everyone. And Google Sheets can be green. And then Jira can be blue. I'll make that orange. We can do that as jump. All right, just need some icons. Computer. Robot. So that can be our little AI agent there. Be our AI agent, human, user. Cool. And that can be our AI agent down the bottom. All right, guys, let's. There is a basic flow of what we're going to build today. All right, let's get into it, guys. So we'll number these just to do 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and this can be 1.6. Cool, and we'll give this a title. AI agent for writing user stories. Perfect. All right, guys, let's build this out. So the very first thing that we're going to need here is some sort of Google Drive folder, right? So let's just go into my Google Drive and we'll create a new folder. And we will call this transcripts or discovery sessions. So as we build this, let's go and add a Google Drive folder. Search files and folders, I believe. Search files, yep. Cool, so we will return all. Make sure it's logged into our Google Drive account. Our folder that we're going to search for is discovery sessions. Cool, so let's just go and create a blank mockup discovery session meeting with client. Cool, so let's just go and can you create a transcript for a discovery session for a client who needs a customer support AI agent? I want you to go through their current process, which will dictate their requirements. Cool. All right, guys. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining, everyone. Awesome. So just read this. So we will call person, we'll call this person that. AI solutions. Cool. And that could just be John. Whatever. Cool. Ticket creation, ticket, done. All right, so in our n8n workflow, let's go and search for that document. We can see here we've got the name of the file plus the ID. The ID is what we care about. Hey mate, I'll show you quickly in Jira. So what I'm building today is an AI agent that's going to be writing user stories inside of Jira for me. So what I want it to do is once the transcript is saved to the Google Drive folder, it will review the transcript, create user stories, save those user stories to Google Sheets, and then there'll be a manual human in the loop who reviews the user stories. If they reject it, the AI agent will update the user stories and then save them back to Google Sheets and just keep going through that process. Once the user stories have been approved, we'll save those to Jira. So that's what I'm working on today. Jira bot. Cool. Jira bot. Cool, so what we need now is our AI agent who's going to go ahead and want to review. Hey Fetso, it's good. How you doing? So we actually need another step here. So we'll get rid of that. We need it to be able to read the contents of the file. So we will use a Google Docs node to get a document, I suppose. We'll pass in the ID, just see what it does. So that gives us the transcript, but if we get rid of the simplify, what does that give us? So it just gives us everything. Content. All right, so we'll just use simplify because it seems like it's going to do the job. Hey everybody, how you doing? So now we've got the contents of the document ID. We can go ahead and connect that to an AI agent. Cool. So we'll change this from a connected trigger node to define below. Here is the discovery meeting transcript. Content. Perfect. For our chat model, let's go just use OpenAI. GPT-4 mini, just so we can get this on the road. And we will call this a transcript or requirements gathering AI agent. So what I'm going to ask Gemini to do is review my process map. Can you create a system message for my AI agent who will review the discovery meeting transcript and come up with user stories in a specific way? Given when then user story acceptance criteria AC1 as a I want so that, and then given when then, and we'll just extrapolate that more. For each of the requirements found. Cool. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. How's everyone's Friday, Saturday, day, night, wherever you're from? Okay, so we've got a system message. You're an expert AI product manager. Your sole responsibility is to analyze discovery meeting transcript and transform the requirements discussed into well-structured, actionable user stories. Cool. Outputs strictly adhere to this mandatory thing. Can you give it to me? Can you give it all in one body I can copy paste? Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, that doesn't look like it's working, but whatever. So back in n8n, we're going to go ahead and add a system message, and we'll just paste that and just have a quick look through. We'll just see what happens with that. Let's see what we get out of this AI bot. So if we look at where we are right now, we're at 1.2, step 1.2. So we're here and here. Hopefully it comes up with some sort of user story that's fine. Cool. Now I'll need it to come up in a specific output format. So let's do it in structured output. Can you specify that the user stories need to be in JSON output? Each user story should be its own object. All right, let's see what happens. Hey guys. Actually, how am I going to do this? So can you simplify it? The JSON so that each user story its own key value pair. Whatever, just see that. Give me the JSON. Hey Dan. Oops. So literally I don't want this. I just want it to be actually that might work how it was before. Keep the, oops. Okay. This is going to be kind of annoying. Just make all the acceptance criteria as a string. Good. All right, so once we get the JSON correct, we can go ahead and actually do some stuff with it, which will be pretty cool. Whatever. So that looks fine now. We'll go update our dude. And so the output now should be JSON, and we should have a user story. Let's clean this up. So try again. Cool. We might actually need another step, I reckon. So it'll probably be like, this one here will be gather requirements. I reckon that's how it's gonna go. So update this. Okay, before I get to this stage, I want you to create a system prompt that will extract all of the requirements in an array. So just move that over here. We'll call that AI agent a user story generating AI agent. But we'll call this one here our requirements gathering AI agent instead. Requirements gathering AI agent. We'll change it from the connected chat trigger node to this is the transcript of the discovery meeting, and we'll take the contents. Cool. We'll connect the chat model to our OpenAI stuff, and we will need another structured output format because our system message is going to specify. Cool. Our system message is going to specify that we need it in that particular format there. Wrap this in JSON. Hey Mel, how you doing? Hey, thanks for the follow, KHGG, appreciate it. Everyone on YouTube, thank you for watching, appreciate it as well. All right, so now we've got an array with all of our requirements. I'll just go ahead and update this so that our first bot knows exactly what to do. Okay, so what I want it to do is to go through our entire transcript and extract all the requirements. Perfect. Cool. Once we get all of the requirements, I want to split them up. I think I want to split them up and then I want to split them up individually. So I'll have 17 requirements there, perfect. Now let's go ahead and look at this, okay? So should we number our requirements at this point? let's go back and create a new folder. We will call this requirements, okay? In here, we're gonna create a Google Sheets account and we'll call this requirements. And meeting ID, I suppose. Requirements. All right. So what we're going to do now is save all of those requirements to our spreadsheet. So we're going to add a Google Sheet node, append row, and we're going to go from our list, requirements, tab 1. What we want to do is put the requirement in output. Cool. And we'll save the meeting IDs just so we have track of what the meeting ID was from. Okay. So now when I click this, we'll see this spreadsheet be populated. Cool, so I'm just gonna wrap that. And this shouldn't be taking up too much space because it doesn't really matter. Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do here is translate those requirements into a user story as well as the acceptance criteria, okay? So what I wanted to do now is connect to our user story generating AI agent. Here is the requirement. Wait. So here's the discovery meeting transcript, and we're gonna provide that so that the AI agent has the context of the entire meeting. We could even add like the company name, the type of discovery meeting it was, who the stakeholders, what their personas are. But for now, we'll just add the entire JACE meeting transcript. Here is the requirement that you need to turn into a user story plus acceptance criteria for your context. Okay. So now you're an expert AI, So we're going to pass the requirement. So what we'll do instead is we'll add the requirement at the top, and then we'll add the transcript at the bottom. So when I execute this now, that should be 17 requirements. There should be 17 requirements in my, 17 user stories in my spreadsheet right now. And for some reason, so I think I probably have to use a smarter model. I'll just try 4.1 so that it matches the criteria, I suppose. Wait, I'll try one more thing. Copy that, re-paste it into our system prompt, and try and execute one last time. Otherwise, I'll have to change the model so that's something smarter. Cool. So let's change it to 4.1 mini. 4.1, sorry. And we'll try execute it now. The problem with this is it's a bit more expensive when we're trying to do it. So you can see it's actually working now because I'll just check the logs. So this is probably going to take up a few more tokens because we're passing the entire transcript through to the AI agent, when realistically it probably only needs just the requirement if we're going to prove out MVP. But we will find out what happens. So whilst I'm waiting for that, we're going to use another Google Sheet node, and we're going to append or update the row this time. So from our list, we're going to update our requirements, and we're also going to try and fetch the ID. Which is going to be interesting as well. So we've got 10 items total. We need another 7 more, it looks like. Okay, so back to our requirements tab. We might need to just do it off row, I suppose. But then if somebody changes it in the meanwhile, it's going to screw up our matching. That's fine. Let's just continue. Cool, so now we've got 17 items here, right? Let me just pin that. Oh, we can just do it off the requirement, can't we? Yep. So we'll have to update our JSON to pass in the requirement. Okay. Can you add a new key? Can you add a new key for the requirement field? The user story and remove user story 1, 2, 3, and update definition to be user story. So it should look like requirement, user story, acceptance criteria. Hey guys, hopefully everyone's following along. I'm just messing about with some JSON right now. Cool. What did I do wrong? Fix this. JSON is JavaScript object notation. It's just a format in which we structure data when we want to send it across different systems. So, for example, we have a look here. Essentially, the way that we structure JSON is we have a key, I guess I'll show you here. We have a key and then we have a value. And then what we can do is we can reference the key when we're querying that JSON object to get the value. And so essentially what I'm trying to do is build JSON so that our AI agent can structure our requirements with user stories in a particular way so that I can insert them into Google Sheets. I hope that makes sense. The problem is, I'm just going to see if this works or not. Yeah, because I've got the wrong structure. It's for n8n. Okay, cool. So we'll pause that and we'll try it again. Use TypeScript. Doesn't quite work like that, Daisy. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't. Okay, so it looks like now that it's working. So we've got the requirement though. So what I want it to do, so essentially I just need to stop this. I want to pass through the value of the requirement. Can you add this to the JSON? So it would be, sometimes I think it might be better for me to just type it out. So it would be value requirement. Cool, that will work. So I guess what I'm trying to do is just build a POC as quickly as possible so that I can just prove it out once and then we can actually refine it and make sure that everything works together. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. And thanks for the follows. Haven't realized people have been following, so thanks, guys. All right. Just want to make sure that it's coming. Cool. Pass through the JSON object as the value. Cool. Thanks, Midnight Muse. Alrighty, guys. So we're getting close. So we can see that our user story generating AI agent now is producing output in the correct way. So we've got a value, which is going to be our sort of key. It's the worst way of doing it, but it will work. So each requirement now has a user story plus a set of acceptance criterias, which we're going to save into our Google Sheets. And this will allow us to automate a lot of that BA work or business analyst work whenever we have discovery meetings with clients and so forth, okay? So we'll see here now we've got, we've got the output. 17 user stories and acceptance criteria have been created. We're gonna go ahead and now add them to our Google Sheets tab here. And so let's just go map that out now. So the column to match on is going to be requirements, and we're going to use the value key here. Cool. And our user story will be user story. Our acceptance criteria will be acceptance criteria. And let's see what happens when we run that. Cool. So in our spreadsheet now, look at that. That is really cool. So we have essentially proven out that we can fully automate our user stories creation by using AI bots. So that's really, really cool. So let's just make this a little bit nicer. Okay. Just need to make sure that it's aligned to the top. All right. So we've got a requirement here, for example, that the AI agent must be able to accurately answer frequently asked questions based on the existing knowledge base. Our user story is, as a customer support agent, I want the AI agent to provide accurate answers to frequently asked questions using the existing knowledge base so that users can quickly resolve common issues. Our acceptance criteria will be, given a frequently asked question is covered in the knowledge base. When a user submits the question to the AI agent, then the AI agent provides an accurate and relevant answer. Cool. Awesome. So this looks pretty good for stage 1. I guess the next things that I want to add is the timestamp of when this requirement was mentioned. So in our meeting transcript, right, we should definitely have timestamps and who mentioned it as well, so that we can trace back exactly what we want or where it came from. So we go back to our process map. The AI agent reviews the transcripts, generates requirements, creates the user stories, saves to Google Sheets. And then now we need to have a review the user stories, okay? A human in the loop who can reviews it. So I might just give it that. I'll put that for later. Timestamp, but a status. And we'll just call this new for now. So if we go back to our append a one, we'll add new so that when they come in, they're all new. How do I add options? How do I add drop-down list? Cool. Hey, join through a shared invite. That's sick. Thank you. All right, so let's go and create statuses new, approved, rejected. So cool. Awesome. Now what I want to do is when I change it to approve, so we'll save this one, and now let's go ahead and add a new trigger. Our trigger will be in Google Sheets, okay? So on a row updated, so in our spreadsheet requirements, sheet 1, columns to watch is status. Cool. So what we're doing is every minute when an output has been changed, I just want to get the row though. So sheet triggers, cool. In n8n, how do I watch for a specific change to a status column? Hey everyone, Bilal, Steve, thanks for joining. Blue Hub Cloud, how you doing? All right. So what it's saying is to use a trigger, cool. I mean, I have to trigger filter it. So we just add a filter. So every single time it's gonna get that many rows? Really? So if the status is equal to approved, execute. Cool. So we've got one item, perfect. I don't like that solution, but it works. And then what we're gonna do is create an issue in Jira, and I need to create a new credential. So let me just do this off screen just to make sure I don't open anything. So we go to log into there, go to your security. So sorry guys, I'm just creating API token right now, off screen. And then we can continue with the build. So just a quick question, how familiar is everyone with n8n? Have you guys used it before? Or is this the first time you're ever seeing n8n? So I'm just gonna create a dummy one, and this can expire then, cool. Hey Mina. What I'm creating is a Jira bot. I'll just show you what the process map is. I'm creating an AI agent for writing user stories in Jira. What the idea is if I ever have a meeting with a client, such as a discovery meeting, I can just load the transcript into a Google Drive folder, and then have an AI agent pick it up, review the transcript. It will then generate or gather the requirements from the actual transcript and create user stories. Save those user stories to Google Sheets, which we can see here. Oops. Here. And then once they're saved to Google Sheets, there'll be a human, which is me for now, who will review the user stories, and I'll either approve the user story. If I do, it'll save it to Jira, or if I reject it, it goes back to the AI agent who updates it and continues that sort of process. So where we're at right now is this last bit to save the user story and acceptance criteria from the Google Sheets into my Jira instance. So what I just need to do is to figure out how to set up my credential. So I'm just doing that off screen, and it's probably going to be a little boring for everyone to easy. So one sec guys, bear with me. I think I've done it. Where's my Jira? Should be done very shortly. So you just gotta do that. And once I click connect, it should work. Nice, cool. All right, so I've just connected my n8n to Jira. So now we should have access to the project. So I got n8n demo there. Issue type will be a story. And so if I create it, oh, thanks, Mia, that's awesome. So once I just need to figure out how I'm gonna map these items to Jira. So this is my Jira board here. If I create a test one. So the summary is the title. So that should be the requirement. And then description will be the user story. And underneath that would be the acceptance criteria, right? What else do we have? Assignee, custom fields, flag, team, start date. I just need to add the status, I think. Rank. Hey guys. How's everyone doing today? And does everyone have any experience with n8n? Cool, so add that. Priority, assignee, labels. Cool, let's just click execute and see what happens. So we're gonna create a user story in Jira now. Cool. And I think that, there we go. That is very cool. Oops. Why is it saying my TikTok live is inactive? Hi guys. Cool. Alrighty guys, so that is very, very cool. So just to reiterate, what we've done is, once this has been approved, it gets sent to Jira. I need to go ahead and add a field though in Jira. Published. Done. Cool. So once we approve it and the Jira bot creates it in Jira, I need to go ahead and update Google Sheets now. So append or update the row from our requirements spreadsheet. What we're going to do is map it on the requirement. User story, no, I don't want the status, and it's going to be set to published. So let's try and execute that. Oh, sorry, the requirement should be here. Cool. So let me save that. Now my Jira should say published. So my Google Sheet should say published. And it's in Jira. Hey Daisy, I'm best. Get add all. Yeah, I need to start backing up my stuff in GitHub. What else is everyone? And everyone, if you're enjoying the stream, please don't forget to follow. Appreciate all the support. And honestly, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm just creating AI agents now. So I'm really happy with this because if I go ahead and approve 2 of them, and I'll run my Google Sheets trigger down the bottom, we should have 2 new user stories, or yeah, 2 new user stories in Jira. So I'll just refresh this quickly. There we go. How good is that? So my head's kind of blocking it, but we now have user stories in our Jira board that have been AI generated based upon a discovery session. So obviously this is only the beginning. What we would do next is start to have a solutioning AI agent. So if we go back to our bot here, we've got a requirements agent here. We'd probably have an AI agent who's going to go ahead and for solutioning. So we'd have this bot up here, once they write all the user stories in Jira, have another solution architect, AI agent, go ahead and write proposed solutions on each of the Jira tickets here. Once we do that, we can go ahead and pass it to an AI agent for development. So we'll have AI agents who can actually write code. They will write the code. They'll move the Jira ticket to ready for test. They'll pass it to a AI agent who does the testing. And then if it passes, it goes to a human for final review. So essentially what we've done now is we've actually just automated the entire development lifecycle. So the only thing is, can we have an AI agent run discovery sessions? Or does it still need to be a human? What do you guys think? Like, do you think it's possible to have an AI agent do the discovery sessions for us? Because that would be really, really cool. Okay, so guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. Please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, whatever whatever channel you're watching through. Today, what I'm really, really happy about is I've built out the concept for an AI agent to write user stories in Jira. So we have a meeting transcript. Let me just go through the process one last time. We have a transcript saved to the Google Drive folder. The AI agent reviews it, generates requirements, creates the user stories, saves it to Google Sheets. I go ahead and review the user stories and either reject or approve it. If I approve it, it saves it to Jira. The idea after that is, once it's in Jira, we're going to pass it to an AI agent who solutions it. Once there's a solution, we'll pass it to an AI agent who develops it and then passes it to a tester to make sure it meets all of the acceptance criteria. So all of the requirements back in here. If it does, it goes to me for final review. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. And if you learned something, don't forget to follow. Have a great evening wherever you guys are. See you guys.